Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Thursday, the 3rd of December. Okay, looking at the euro dollar first, at the moment we're seeing some continuation to the downside here these last nearly 12 hours to the downside now. We've got obviously key data coming out 1:30. We've got the ECB press conference, which is the minimum bid rate at 12.45, which may give it all away in the first place if there's going to be any adjustments. But after that, at 1:30, we got Draghi speaking, which will certainly give direction. Later on, we got 3 o'clock. We got the Fed chair Yellen testifying before the Joint Economic Committee. So we should have some volatility this afternoon. It could be quiet this morning for the euro, or we may just see people taking positions one way or the other, whether they be short or whatever. But there may be a hard market to trade from what we normally see. It may have a little bit early volatility followed by complete sideward action. So difficult to actually point out where it's running or doing this morning. I mean, at the moment it's the downside, rather be short back down towards the S1 at the moment, but really need some sort of entry for that. Okay, for the pound. The pound's really took a hit yesterday. I mean, we've made new sort of monthly annual lows here. At 1.49, it's below that key area I was talking about last week, the 1.5 area, which was quite a significant pivotal area, but it's obviously dropped below that. We're now sort of having to look back. We just move these. We have to go back then to sort of monthly charts to see when we were quite as low as where we are. And I mean, it's sort of well, there are some points around this sort of area where we are at the moment, but really we're getting quite oversold in effect in the short term. But yeah, I mean, at this rate, it looks like it's on for the 145, the way it's running at the moment. But as I say, there could be other support coming in before then. So we've certainly got the monthly S1 not far below, which may correlate with this channel that I've left drawn on here because it seems to be working so well. So we may just have a touch of the, as I say, S1. I would expect some sort of support around that 148.67 sort of area, maybe with the regression channel. Okay. So looking weak this morning, we do have the daily pivot above us, so it really depends on how it breaks this morning. But it could be with its current sort of movement, it could be a big ask for it to sort of break up. And even though it's only 37 pips away, it's got the 20s before it, the 60-20s, which may provide some resistance. Really need some good news for the cable for it to start breaking that sort of into those highs, because at the moment with this sort of pennant shape, I would expect this to maybe follow on down to the south side, maybe towards yesterday's lows, and as I said, the monthly pivot, today's S1, all down there at 148.70 area. Okay. That's the cable. We have got news out this morning at 9:30. Got services PMI key number. That could be the mover that fires it one direction or the other quite quickly. Dollar yen. Really, it did manage a bit more of a shove up, but it's still in this consolidated phase. It's been in for over a month now. Slightly trend towards the upside here, clearer on the hourly picture, maybe topping where it is there, but if it can continue in this route, well, yesterday's highs and the R1 sit well together as possible resistance. As I say, for now, it does look like it could continue in that route. Okay, Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, mainly one of the more bullish of the markets against the US dollar at the moment. It did have a small down day, and it was very modestly down compared to how the pound sold off, for example. Holding up fairly well at this early morning shift. trade balance was pretty poor. That came out at 12:30, but it's recovered from that sort of data, and heading back up towards those highs around the 733 area. Already hit the daily S1, daily pivot, maybe even get up to the daily R1 would be certainly a possibility back into that monthly R1 as well. There's a possibility there if it does break the upside. Any failure, well, could see us back down towards the S1 there, but it has held up one of the best. Canadian dollar, it's chopping as well as it can be chopping. This is the days I don't look to trade it very often when it's like this. Yesterday had a huge period where it's just literally going up, down, up, down, up, down, chopping along for ages, promising to break out, never really did it, and then we got the news that just managed to trigger it in both directions there. Quite a bit of strengthening overnight here through the Asian session. Now sort of it looks like it's pushing back up again, but may have missed its daily pivot there so far, so there's a chance it may get back towards that. There's not much else there. Let's just have a quick look at oil. Whenever we're looking at oil come off quite sharply yesterday, but well, actually did quite well relatively. But with oil selling off again this morning, well, perhaps we'll see the Canadian dollar push or carry on pushing up in that case. Okay, that's it for me. Hope you have a great day. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.